So I think you're seeing it, right? You're seeing that things are getting hard. It's harder than ever to be able to keep up with inflation. People are starting to pinch pennies when it comes to, affording things at the grocery store or affording the higher insurance or taxes and all of the gamut of things that you have to try to survive in our current hyperinflation state of economics. And so I don't really care what the news is saying. Basically, what's happening right now is that we are struggling. A lot of people are struggling right now, and they just need to figure out how to wrap their head around the fact that this hyperinflation is not going away. And I honestly do believe that there's going to be a crash next year post-election once they're done. And by they, I mean the powers that be, the politicians that are trying to smooth everything over to make sure that everybody thinks that everything's peachy keen and kosher, when really it's not behind the scenes, just so that they can get reelected. And I don't know about you, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. At the end of the day, none of those politicians are there to serve you and to help you and your family. That's your job. Your job is to help you serve and help your family. And so I'm going to share with you exactly how to do that. So if you're in debt right now, let's talk about what your options are, okay? So then that way you are armed with knowledge, and hopefully you'll execute on the knowledge that I give to you. So if you're in debt right now, you have to figure some things out. First of all, you have to figure out where you are in order to be able to figure out where you want to go or where you want to be. And so it all starts with pulling your personal credit. I recommend that you go to Experian.com, spend the $39.95, get all 3 credit reports from Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion all at once, figure out what your FICO scores are, and then you can go from there. Now, if you're like many Americans who are in severe, steep debt, meaning that you just don't know how to get out of it, your interests are so high, your interest rate is so high on your personal loans or your credit cards, and you just want to figure out what to do, I strongly urge you to connect with a debt consolidation company like yesterday, because you're going to have to start to consolidate that debt. You're going to have to cut up some of your credit cards, because you're going to have to be disciplined in not running them up once the debt consolidation takes place. So I strongly urge you to do that as a last ditch attempt, and I don't really recommend this for anybody unless, of course, you consult with an attorney, but bankruptcy is usually the last resort. And so you have to think in terms of, okay, it's not just a matter of you trying to fix your credit, because what is the whole purpose, if you think about it, to fix your credit, aside from, trying to rent a place or getting a decent job? At the bottom line, to fix your credit is to get more credit, right? But if you're in trouble already with your credit situation, why would you want to even attempt to get more credit right now? What we need to do is try to pull you out of the dismal pit of despair that you're in at this moment when it comes to being overextended on your credit. So let's see how we can do that. First and foremost, like I said, debt consolidation, last resort, bankruptcy, okay? That's a last resort, and again, only after you speak with an attorney in the state where you're located, an attorney that specializes in bankruptcy. But let's talk about debt consolidation. So you consolidate everything, and then you make one payment every single month, and then eventually you will get out of debt. In the meantime, you'll slowly but surely be able to enjoy a higher and higher FICO score, and then you'll be able to ultimately rebuild and fix your credit. You'll be able to repair your credit. So let's talk about the other elephant in the room, okay? And that is that if you don't start thinking in terms of a side hustle or something else to do, you are going to be swallowed alive when it comes to the continuation of hyperinflation that we have going on right now. None of this is going back to the days that we were before. I actually saw this one post, I think it was on Facebook, and somebody had mentioned that Sears catalog used to, if you remember Sears catalog back in the day, it was a stick-ass catalog that you get in the mail. And it was Sears and Roebuck Company that was a mail order company, and they used to sell houses, yes, an actual house in their catalog. And this was, I think, 1911, 1912. They actually sold the house for $958, I think. And I was just like, having just left California, my monthly tax payment was more than $958 a month to be able to just pay the taxes. We're not even talking about the mortgage or the insurance or anything else. And so it just kind of made me realize, more than 100 years later, like where we are financially with inflation and just everything that seems to be breaking down in our economic system. And like I mentioned, it's just going to get worse. So if you're barely hanging on right now, as at this moment, your goal, in addition to trying to get out of your current debacle with your credit, meaning that you're looking for a really good debt consolidation company like yesterday, but you should also be hyper focused on some kind of side hustle, some kind of profitable side hustle that can make you money. Because if you're not going to be focused on that, and instead you're going to be watching Netflix and all this other crap that you're wasting your time on, then unfortunately you're going to be up a creek without a paddle in a very short period of time. So my prediction and forecast is that I believe we're going to have another 2008 crash, but it's not going to be the same kind of crash. It's going to be a different kind of crash. It's going to be the credit bubble crash. So 2008, as you recall, was mostly about real estate because people were overextended real estate wise. They were buying over the market value. They were buying on adjustable arms. They were buying with really bad credit, and the unscrupulous companies were allowing them to get mortgages. Even if they were able to fog glass and sign their name on a dotted line, they were able to get a mortgage, believe it or not. And that's all changed. So I don't believe that we're going to have another 2008 when it comes to real estate. But I do think that we're going to have a credit bubble that's been in the wings, if you will, for many years now. And so I've noticed, I mean, even just recently, I've had 2 major credit cards contact me and state that because I'm not using the credit cards, we're talking Capital One and we're talking Chase, that they're closing down my credit card accounts because they're starting to think about mitigating their future potential loss. And so they have these algorithms that determine whether or not somebody's either overextended or they're not using their credit and they want to be able to minimize their risk, or a variety of other different algorithm touch points that they use to start making these kinds of decisions. And they only do this when they start to see that there's danger ahead. And so I believe that these financial institutions are not betting that the future's bright in any way whatsoever, which is why they're starting to see the cliff ahead and trying to pull back on the reins to see if they can do something to help mitigate some of their potential loss. So they know better than anybody. They keep very tight tabs on all their numbers. They have very tight, a whole entire department of accountants. They know their numbers. They have spreadsheets up your butt. They know everything that's going on, and they know that there's something really bad right around the turnpike up ahead. And so them knowing this should give you the sense of maybe I should start listening to these alarm bells for myself, knowing that there's another credit bubble burst that's about to take place. You are going to get sucked in the midst of this credit bubble burst, especially if you're deep in debt right now. So there's not all lost hope, but the bottom line is this: you're going to have to find something, some kind of side hustle to do to be able to not only help you pull out ahead of this, but also to thrive in the upcoming economic disaster. It's going to be a tsunami like you've probably never seen before in your lifetime, especially if you're Generation Z or even a millennial. You're probably not used to this kind of, economic calamity, if you will. So what should you do? Start looking for something you can do on the side to make money, and you need to do it right now. And so I'm not talking about taking on extra jobs, because you don't want to trade hours for dollars. You only have a certain amount of hours every single day. You need to leverage your time a little bit better. So yes, you can keep your 8-hour-a-day job or your current business, whatever it is that's pulling in some income now, but it's only a matter of time. If you're struggling already right now, it's only a matter of time before that income is going to be eclipsed by all of the hyperinflation, because things are not ever going to go back down. We're not going to go back to that day where we could see a house for $958 in a Sears catalog in 1911 or 1912. Never going to happen again. Once things go up, they very rarely, if ever, go back down. And so if you're struggling today, right now, which I'm guessing you probably are, then let's talk about your options as far as side hustles, okay? So I think we all know the great wide open when it comes to the internet marketing, but a lot of even savvy, highly experienced internet marketers are starting to struggle with online marketing as far as making money online. They're simply struggling. They're struggling with their Facebook ads. They're struggling with their Google ads. They're struggling with everything right now. And they're also starting to pull back on their marketing and advertising. But say, for example, you do want to maybe venture into the online marketing space. What are your options there? Well, there's a couple different options. Number one, you can consider affiliate marketing opportunities. Now, there's places like ClickBank and other affiliate liaison types of websites or platforms that you can actually sell other people's products that you can benefit and make money up to 75%, even sometimes more in commissions from each sale. The problem is that a lot of these liaison sites like ClickBank, for example, they only have a lot of like really small dollar amount products, like a lot of it are digital, like courses and so forth. And so unless you could find something that makes a lot of money, that can give you like say a $500 to $1,000 commission, then for the most part it's not worth it, and your marketing dollars are not going to really go very far, and you're probably going to end up losing money. So what should you do? Try to find marketing affiliate programs online that pay a lot of money, and you're going to mostly find that when it comes to products that service the stock trading market. So we're talking about commodity, stock trading, options, Forex. So any kind of online course, an affiliate course that sells any of those kinds of products. I mean, even sports betting, for example. You can find products in ClickBank and other equivalent websites that can pay you a really nice chunk of change in commission. And the stock trading market in particular is a market of people that have an insatiable appetite to get the edge on their trading. So they will pay out the nose for all these different kinds of courses just to be able to get that one tiny little golden nugget that maybe they missed before or never heard of before to help them with their trading. Also, if you can get involved in any kind of continuity affiliate program, like for example, a stock trading software where somebody's being billed every single month and you're able to actually get a piece of that action every single month from the main host affiliate company. So for example, you sell their stock trading program and maybe it's $299 a month, and you're getting maybe say 40 or 50% of that every single month like clockwork. And a lot of these stock traders will stay on those kinds of platforms simply because it's working and they're able to make money with whatever program or software that they've signed up for. So those are the ideal options when it comes to affiliate marketing, is anything having to do with trading. But again, it has to be something that's a high dollar amount. What are some other options that you can use? What are some other options you could do to make money? Well, believe it or not, there's some old school stuff that's still making money. A lot of people have forgotten about eBay, believe it or not. Now you're probably thinking, eBay, Monica, like really? Does anybody actually make money on eBay? There are people that still make money on eBay. And the way that you could figure out what's profitable on eBay is simply by looking at some of the highest I guess you could say feedback companies out there that are on eBay right now that are actually making tons of money every single day doing a high volume of sales, and figuring out what they're selling and seeing, hey, is this something I could sell potentially? Is this something that I can make money from or not? Can I buy these products from say China or overseas to be able to resell them on eBay or not? And is it worth my time? There's a website that you can go to. It's either made-in-china.com or Alibaba.com. I'm sure you've heard of either one of those. And you can actually find really low-priced things that you could sell on eBay, and you can get them for a deep, deep discount. So that's an option too. Now you're probably thinking, well, what if I just sell those things on Amazon? Amazon is so ridiculously highly competitive right now that it's not even worth trying to do products on Amazon. Now that's bringing me back to another opportunity that you could do, which is in digital publishing on Amazon. However, I will warn you, digital publishing on Amazon, which would be publishing Kindle books or Audible books, that is a long-term play, meaning that you're not going to be making quick money overnight. You're not going to be making money, by 30 days from now. You're going to have to take time to allow that to gain traction. But there's a lot of money to be made in digital Amazon publishing, not products, but Kindle and Audible books. There's tons of money in that, but again, it's a long-term play. It's going to take 6 months to a year, quite honestly, for you to be able to adequately and profitably set up a business like that. But if that's something you're interested in, definitely go into the description box below and check it out, because I can give you more information on exactly how to set up a highly profitable business. I mean, there's people that are making tens of thousands of dollars a month with just these very simple books that they're publishing on Amazon, and they don't even write the books, okay? And so if you're not a writer, then it's the perfect opportunity for you. But again, it's a long-term play. It's a 6 to 12 month play. And if you think about it, 6 to 12 months from now, you're still going to be 6 to 12 months older. You might as well be 6 to 12 months more profitable, if that makes sense. But the bottom line is this: in order for you to survive, let's start focusing in on you and what you can do now to be able to preserve your well-being, your financial well-being. And that is, let's talk about debt consolidation. Start looking for companies that can do debt consolidation, and then start to find a really highly profitable side hustle. If you don't find the side hustle, you're not going to keep up with inflation. I mean, if you're already struggling now, Fast forward a year from now, and you're probably going to be bankrupt and possibly even homeless. And if you think I'm exaggerating, I'm not. I mean, things are changing really fast, and people are getting sucked under the tsunami tidal wave quicker than they ever thought imaginable, and you don't want to be one of those casualties. And so now you have a very perfect, probably a one-shot lifetime opportunity for you to be able to do something about it, and hopefully you decide to take the bull by the horns and do something about it now while you still can. All right, so if you found that this content was useful and helpful to you, please give me a nice thumbs up, as well as consider subscribing to my channel. I have a lot more videos to bring to you as far as financial independence, and I will see you in the next video.